Welcome to Charts Today. My name's David Linton, and today's edition for Monday, the 29th of November, comes to you from London. And we're seeing markets recovering after Friday's falls, but of course those falls were quite big. We saw the dollar actually falling away on Friday, but it's recovering a bit this morning, and the long-term trends are still very much in place. Remembering this is my weekly, my daily, and my 60-minute chart with the corresponding point and figure targets. And we see here we had 3 very strong weeks on the dollar indeed, so that was quite key. Euro looking weak still. I know those medium and long-term charts did recover a little bit on Friday, but pulling back again. So we'll go with the longer-term trends. They will normally dominate. And we see sterling sitting at 133.35. Again, the trend against the dollar is lower, but against the euro we're sitting at 118.26. Pulled back a little bit, but the trend here is higher. Bitcoin is sitting at $57,000, so recovering some ground. That $83,000 target still in train, but we do have this new downside target of 41,000. So we've got to wait and see how that resolves itself, but we are still bullish on all 3 time frames above the cloud. The S&P 500 index was down 2.3%. That's taken us short-term bearish on that cloud. There we see the big weekly candle there, and that was mostly about Friday's fall, of course, and so we do have a downside target some 1.5% lower. The Nasdaq also closed lower on Friday, taking us just below the cloud, and that lower low is quite significant as well. We are seeing the futures up this morning, up 0.65 on the S&P mini. So about a third of Friday's fall recovery there, but really not bouncing back in any big shape or form. Looking at the Nasdaq, we are stronger here, up 0.9% on the future this morning, but that again is pulling below the cloud as well. The VIX volatility leapt on Friday. It was up 45%. It's pulled back this morning, but the fact is that VIX has now moved to bullish territory for the fear index. Notice how the target was met, and that is if we're sitting at these levels, the market is fearful. The FTSE future is up 0.8% this morning. Europe's actually looking fairly strong, giving up some ground. It was higher at the open. The DAX is up 0.6%, but the chart looking terrible there on the short-term chart, and the CAC Courant also looking lower as well. Japan is down 1.7%, so Asia was hit pretty badly and not recovering this morning. That, of course, on Friday was closed before the US closed, so we're seeing Asia getting the hangover of what happened on Friday in the US, and we're seeing the Hang Seng also lower. Risks of a lower low here, bearish on all 3 time frames. The Chinese market, little changed, but again, and not looking quite as bad as the Hang Seng. The Indian market was actually up yesterday, up overnight, up 0.7%, so looking stronger there, but pulling back and rolling over as well. So we do have some downside targets now for India, which we've got to watch, and the Aussie market down 0.5%. We'll take a look at the energy mix in a minute, but soft commodities looking pretty strong. Sugar up 1.2%, lots of upside targets there to play for. Wheat, similarly, lots of upside targets to play for. These feed into inflationary fears, of course. The corn chart is a little bit more one of recovery, but again we've got upside targets here activated and to play for as well. Gold just nudging the 1800 level. It did go higher on Friday on those market fears, but it's pulled back, but we are still just bullish on all 3 time frames there. And palladium is actually up 2.3%, but that's not enough to change the bearish trends that we're seeing there. Looking at US 10-year yields sitting at 1.5%. The picture is one, still very much of these upside targets, and we've got the really strong support there on the charts. Looking at the energy mix now, we've got Brent Crude this morning up 4%. So we see that massive fall on Friday. This is the daily and the 60-minute, daily, 60-minute, 1 minute. So this is what we look at for the very short-term targets. We put the calls out to clients this morning, of course, and we are seeing WTI with mixed targets. We have actually gone neutral on WTI this morning. We did bounce right on the cloud there on the lagging line, so that's quite key. US nat gas rolled over, of course, today, so we are seeing still the picture of one around this $5 mark. Coal sitting at 117. It is in short-term bullish territory, and emissions looking strong this morning, pushing above the 75 level, making new highs with good upside targets. And if we look at gas prices, up 8% on NBP and TTF. So that's really interesting because we're pushing above that 94 level. We're just nudging that resistance level, but looking pretty strong there. German power sitting up 6% this morning, again breaking higher than we saw last week, so that's pretty clear as well. And Nordic power on the quarterly is up 19%, a massive jump there. As we're seeing power demand in Europe increasing with cold weather. That's it for today. Until tomorrow, happy charting. See you then.